All right, so in this scenario, we're gonna be looking at our opponent with an underhook on us, which is usually one of the main goals that somebody's looking to get to from bottom side control. And we're gonna look at it now from within that overarching concept of alignment, where how do we make sure that we keep ourselves in proper posture structure and base, and how do we look at affecting our opponent's posture structure and base to create that vulnerability so that they're not actually gonna be effective with that underhook. So in order for our opponent to be effective with the underhook, they need to be getting turned on their side so that they're able to generate base into us. If I have a cross face and my opponent has an underhook, it doesn't actually mean anything at this point. We see a lot like in, you'll hear coaches in competitions yelling, get the underhook when the person's cross face. Just because Kevin has the cross face or has the underhook right now, because I have this cross face, whether I'm gripping out of the gi or into the armpit, I've turned Kevin this way. If Kevin tries to build up with that underhook or like shuck me right now, he's not going to be effective at all. So if you already have the cross face, make sure you understand how to use it properly to break posture, and your opponent's not going to be able to be effective with it. It's pretty cosmetic at that point. As well as if he's starting to actually get this underhook and turn slightly onto his side, if we have this range still where we're super close, understand that posture is going to be our best friend when it comes to messing up our opponent's alignments, that we can make them as fractionally strong as they are so that they're not going to be effective. Everything that we look at from here is going to be how do we break their posture. So from here, the cross face as we talked about, I can grab onto the gi, whether I'm grabbing onto the collar or grabbing on behind the shoulder, or if it's no gi, I can actually just still grab kind of like the back of the scapula here. I'm going to drop my forearm onto Kevin's head, and you can see how I'm actually bending his head down to the ground. If he's in proper posture right now, his head's off the mat. I'm not dropping my forearm into his neck. I'm opening up my elbow, and I'm accessing a lever, and I'm bending him down here. Now if Kevin tries to build up, even if he manages to build up into actual turtle from here, there's a certain range, there's space between us. He's not down low here on this single or with a low underhook. I've managed this range that even if he manages to create hip mobility and build up into base, I'm going to be able to look to start reattacking turtle, setting up chokes, because he's choosing to move forward when he shouldn't be at that point. He's making a tactical error. I can also look to affect structure from here. So the whizzer is a common thing that people use to defend the underhook. As Kevin underhooks me, this hand is going to overhook and shoot down. And what I'm looking at doing from here is actually dropping my shoulder, my bicep, into the back of his shoulder to create pressure and bend it forward. So if you just come up into like a turtle position, what I'm looking at, Kevin is looking to create this strong structure where his shoulder is in strong alignment to his elbow, to his wrist, 90-degree bend. He's able to close his elbow here. What we're looking at doing with the whizzer is putting a bunch of pressure here. Our ribs are actually going to be accessing the arm as a lever, and we're looking to open this arm up and push the shoulder down like this, that we start extending the wrist and elbow back past that shoulder and creating this rotation. And you can see how there's a difference between this position and this position. So even here, just from a full-on turtle, if I hook, if I just have this, yes, it helps me a bit because it blocks him from being able to take my back as easily. Or if I don't have this, Kevin's going to be able to just slip out that back door and attack the back. What I want is to be dropping my shoulder down so that his shoulder goes out of alignment from his elbow and his wrist. And I can even start looking to raise my hips here. And so now if Kevin tries to build up from here, it's going to be extremely difficult because I understand how I'm supposed to be applying this force to access this arm and pin him down. I can also combine that overhook with the posture control. I believe it's just a quarter Nelson. So as he gets his underhook, I go with this overhook. I'm going to frame his head with my arm, and I'm going to connect my hand to his wrist, to my wrist. From here, I'm creating that closed circuit, so I'm stronger than I would be if I was just open like this, here and here. So I'm able to open his elbow by rolling my shoulder, my bicep into his elbow and lifting it up like this. So rather than just keeping him nice and closed here, where he's in strong structure, I'm opening it up. At the same time, I'm pushing down, so my body just gets to go in the same direction here. As Kevin gets this underhook, tries to start building up, I'm framing, locking out my arm, so it's a proper frame, hooking, driving here. Try and get up from here, Kevin. Extremely difficult to do because I'm breaking his structure and his posture. Base is going to be a later stage thing, and what he needs to do is build up onto his elbows so that he's going to have mobility in his hips to be able to get into a strong position and drive us over. Kevin gets this underhook. Most guys, we're looking at building up onto this elbow. So from here, Kevin builds up to the elbow. Now he's got a strong post. As I try and drive into him, he's going to be able to knee tap me and knock me over. Or a big variety of different techniques that he can do from there. But he's gotten a dominant angle and he's in posture, structure, and base. I'm going to have a bad day. So at this stage, Kevin has managed to turn to his side. As he's trying to build up onto this elbow, the easiest is for me to stop him from ever being able to build up onto that elbow. If it's a gi, I can grab the sleeve, very effective. It's harder to do no gi to grab the wrist, but we can grab the elbow, the back of the tricep. And so as Kevin tries to withdraw that to build it up, he can't use it as a frame because I'm accessing it as a lever. As we talked about with the box principle, that rotational control from side control, I can pull up on this and flatten my opponent back out onto the mat. If I have the sleeve here, I might not be able to actually pull him and flatten him out, but I'm just creating that tension here so that as Kevin tries to withdraw his arm, he's going to have a hell of a time trying to build up into base. And as we're dealing with this battle and he's struggling, we then look to move to advancing to another form of control where we're trying to now break posture with a crossface. From here, as well as we talked about with the rotational control, I can use the legs. So as Kevin's trying to build up into base here, if I can grab that inside of the leg here, so I'm reaching in between the legs, grabbing the back of his knee. As Kevin tries to build up here, I check the elbow here, now that he's already built in the base, so he's not able to adjust his posts. And as Kevin tries to withdraw his leg, I'm going to drive him over. Kevin turns onto his side, builds up on his elbow. I'm accessing this leg as a lever. I'm going to be much more successful if I can actually block the elbow, but if I can't, as he tries withdrawing his leg to get to base, I'm looking to pull up on that leg. Once again, I'm accessing levers in order to control the rotation of my opponent's body and deny him the ability to get into a position that's going to allow him the proper base to generate force at that angle that he needs to take me down.